All right, welcome back to TCS Studio. We're joined here by former Clemson Hall of Fame baseball coach Jack Leggett. Jack, thank you very much for sitting down with us, spending so much time with us today. This segment, we'll talk a little bit about what you're doing these days, and some things related to that. First off, the fans that don't know, talk to us a little bit about how you're spending your time. Obviously, Team USA is something you've invested some baseball time in, but tell us what you're doing with your baseball time and what you're doing with your other time.
Well, I've got a website, jackleggett.com. I write some blogs in there, write some baseball things in there that I think people would be interested in, and try to do some consulting, talk to other coaches, talk to some players, some professional players and some college players that want to, have an experienced person to give them a little bit of advice here and there. So, and do clinics. I've done some clinics up in Chicago and all over that allow me to talk baseball and give my experience in baseball. So I enjoy doing that. Coaching the 18 under national team, USA team, and that's been a great experience for me. I've done this my second year of coaching it, third year involved with USA Baseball. It's a class organization. It's something filled with pride and doing things the right way, and the kids, putting that USA jersey on is a little bit different thing. Mm-hmm. And so we coached the national team last year. We went to Panama in November. We won the gold medal there. We won 9 games in a row. We played extremely well. Had the 20 best players in the country representing us against teams like Colombia, Cuba, Brazil, Venezuela, Mexico, all the Latin American countries, Peru, Honduras, all these, and Canada was in it. Took the top 4 teams out of there, and those teams will go to the World Championships, which is going to be played in August of this year, late August. And so in preparation for that, we'll take 80 kids down to the IMG Academy from June 13th to July 5th. I'll be down there for 2 of those 3 weeks. But there'll be coaching staffs, and it's called the PDPL, which is Player Development League. And the Major League Baseball has got its tentacles in it now, so there'll be Major League Baseball involved in it as well. We'll narrow that down from 80 down to 45 kids. Those 45 will go to Los Angeles on August 12th or 13th. We'll be there for a week. At the end of the week, we'll have that narrowed, training and playing games. We'll have that narrowed down to 20. And that 20 will be the U.S. national team, which I'll be coaching with 3 other coaches. And we will fly from Los Angeles to Taiwan, and we'll play Chinese Taipei there and train there and get acclimated, and then go down to Busan, South Korea, and play in the World Championships from the end of August till about September 8th or 9th. And that'll be, I think, 14 teams will be there to play for a World Cup or World Championship. And our goal is to go there and win the gold medal and come back and get on that, 16, 17-hour flight on the way back and recover and feel good about it. But I think it's been a great experience for me. I've been able to meet some other coaches that I don't normally would not have met, and been associated with some really good players that I would have been associated with had I not taken over this USA thing. So it's been a really good experience for me. It's been something that's kept me in baseball. It's kept me current. Had a great relationship with the players in Panama, texting all the time. I want to group text, all that kind of thing, to keep in touch with these guys and help them out. So I think they enjoyed our, experience we gave them. The other 3 coaches was Greg Ritchie, who's the hitting coach and is at George Washington University, and he also was 10 years in the minor leagues and 2 years with the Pittsburgh Pirates as their hitting instructor. So he was hitting coach. So he's got great experience. Scott Bankhead, who was a right-handed pitcher for North Carolina and a first rounder a while back, and he spent 10 years in the big leagues, and now he runs the North Carolina Academy, baseball academy up near Greensboro. And he's been a great friend and really good. And then last year, Merv Melendez, the head coach at Florida International, was our coach who we took. And this year it'll be Gerald Laird, who spent 13 years in the big leagues with Texas Rangers and the Braves and so forth. And so he's going to do the catching part of it. So we've got a great staff, and we're excited about taking on this challenge and see where it goes.
What's it feel like for you to put that USA on the jersey on?
It really is something different. And, I wondered, 2 years ago, I guess it was 3 summers ago, I went to the National Team Development Program for a week up in Chicago, and we're playing in Kerry Woods Field. He has his own facility, and I was debating whether to take this 2-year coach of the national team challenge on, and we got done at the end of that week, played the last game, we won the last game against the other team, and I sat in the dugout, and I was the last person on the bus. I was the only person in the dugout, and to be honest with you, Robert, I was emotional. I was like, this is what I do. This is who I am. I'm a coach. I love baseball. I love being around people. I love the challenge of it. You know, I was emotional. And so Matt Blood, as I'm going to the bus, he comes to try to find me, and he goes, he said, "What's up, Coach?" And I said, "This is just what I do, Matt." And I said, "You want me to coach the national team for the next 2 years?" He goes, "I'd love to have you do that. That's why we're here." He goes, "I'm in."
Got it.
And so that was, you know, that got me involved in it, and we had a blast in Panama, and we had a blast with the players, and it was a really good fun thing.
Obviously, you've got a large coaching tree out there from guys that have coached with you or played for you. Can you talk about what you do, how much time you spend keeping in touch with those guys? You mentioned going up and helping Coach Pep, and just talk about that coaching family you built.
Well, you know, I've been very lucky to be around a lot of really good people, and I've hired some good people, and I've had a lot of good people in our program, players who are now coaching, and so I follow their teams. I'm on that D1 baseball site. I got all my favorite teams, all the guys. I'm watching Winthrop because Tom Regina's. I'm watching Florida because of Sully. I'm watching, you know, Vanderbilt because of Corbs. I'm watching St. John's because of Mike Hampton, who's up there as an assistant coach. I'm watching Georgia Southern. I'm watching, you name it, Furman because of Taylor Harbin and Andrew Cox over there. And so I'm watching all these guys play, and I'm, you know, Dan Papicelli up in Cornell, and that's where I was this past weekend. And so I'm watching these guys play and watching the results and seeing the box score, seeing who's living and dying that day. And so I have just a lot of really good friends in baseball and met a lot of really good people. And, you know, they've been loyal to me, and I'm loyal to them. I'll text them. I know that they're, you know, struggling maybe. The team's not playing really well. I'm texting them. They have a great win. I'm texting them. I know they're on the bus. I'm texting them. I'll call them. Hey, hang in there. You know, I guess I'm kind of that conduit that if things go bad, everybody says, "Coach, what do we do?" Or, you know, "How's it going? We need some help," or "You got any advice?" Or whatever it might be. And when things are going good, they're the first people to call you too and say, "Hey, Coach, this one's for you," or, you know, "Appreciate everything you've done." They've been just great to me, and hopefully I've been loyal to them, and always will be, and it's just always really good to see them doing well and spreading the word of what our program was all about through their programs and to their kids, and it just kind of keeps spiraling and getting bigger all the time, and that's really why you're in coaching in the beginning.
Talk a little bit about your emotions. You've had a couple of coaches, Corbs and Sully, that have won it all. What are your emotions when you're watching them live that dream?
Well, it's everybody's dream to try to win the last game of the year. It's very difficult to do, and so Corbs won it. And I think it was, I don't know, it was 2013 maybe, or somewhere in that way. I still had the camp, because I remember it was happening during camp, during the summer camps, and I was following it, and camps were going on, and then I'm getting a call, and he's calling me, and I'm calling him, and his wife's crying on the phone, and I'm just happy for him. And it's just a great moment. And then Sully, same thing, when he won it, you know, his first call, he called me, and I call him, and we get on the phone, talk with how proud I am of him and how he runs his program, and both of them have done really good things with their program and taken it to the highest level. And so it's been great to see, and great to be a part of it, and they feel like you're a part of their program. And I've been down to see Sully's team in the fall and work with their players. And, you know, a couple of years I went down and you know, in the group text with all the players, and I'm texting them after they have a great game, and, you know, all those kinds of things. "Thanks, Coach. When you're coming back," all those kinds of things. So it becomes an extension. You know, I went up to Cornell this past week with Pep's team and spoke at his 150-year anniversary of Cornell baseball. and great alumni in there, athletic director, people, you know, that are appreciative you're there. They appreciate their coaches. They appreciate, you know, the tradition of the program, even though they hadn't been to Omaha, but they still have tradition and they still have pride in their program and they're appreciative of it. And that's one thing that you always want the school that you're at to be appreciative of what you've done. And so that was a really good experience. And of course, Pep, they had 3 games against the University of Pennsylvania. Lose the first game, then Pep walks them off on a triple, and then he walks them off in the last game on a home run. So they want me to come back all the time. Now, I think I had something to do with it. I didn't have anything to do with it. But it was great to see him happy and, you know, see how, you know, a special moment on a weekend, a couple moments on a weekend, you know, makes you feel good for the next week anyway. You're only good as your last game. So it was a really good opportunity for me to go up and visit my friends, talk to their team, had me talk to their team. Players are standing around. I got 12. Next thing I know, I'm talking to 2 people. Then there's 4 kids, and then a couple other kids, you know, before the game. Next thing I know, I'm talking to 12, 13 kids, telling stories about the NC State game and about, you know, all these. They want to know what your greatest moment was, what the lowest moment was. Tell me about Omaha. Tell me about this. So it's always good to talk to young people and especially to go up and see you guys are doing well.
Obviously, it's not the easiest thing for you to come back to Clemson and watch games, but you're there every single time one of your former players is coaching. You're always there to support him.
I try to be, you know, I didn't come to many this year. I live a little further away now, about an hour and 15 minutes away. So it's a little bit more difficult for me to come. And I just, you know, I'm trying to transition into the next phase. And I try to come to football games when I can. The people are great when I do come back. I just, you know, I hope someday I can close this thing up the right way and do something, you know, do things first class and finish things up the right way and make you feel more welcome about coming back. But everybody is that I do see is very nice to me and very appreciative. I see them at a football game and you're taking pictures with people walking down the, you know, the tailgating and all that kind of thing. And that's the stuff I love. That's stuff I always loved doing when I was here. And so I'm hoping that somehow it can all be tied up the right way and we figure out a way to recognize the 22 years that I spent here with my teams and their great accomplishments out on that fence somehow, so people know we were here. You know, that's something I would hope Clemson figures out before it's all over.
Well, that's a little bit of a transition from that. Obviously, you're doing the Team USA. That's 2-year commitment. Do you have the fire to go back and give college baseball one more try, or do you feel like you don't want to do that at this point?
You know, the reality of it is that I loved being at Clemson. I always thought of myself as the Clemson baseball coach. My kids thought of myself and thought of me as the Clemson baseball coach. My players, that's what they thought. And so I always envisioned me ending it here and when it was right. And so it was a little bit raw when it happened. So I had some other opportunities. I had 2 or 3 other opportunities. I could have gone off and coached at other places. But in my mind, I wasn't ready to stop being the Clemson coach. I wasn't ready to be somebody else's coach. And maybe that's my own fault or my own, you know, flaw that I've got amongst the many. But so I wasn't ready to do something like that at that time. And but I think if someone came with the right opportunity and really wanted you and really understood the value of, you know, what you could bring to the table, great. But it seems like a lot of these opportunities now, they're trying to get somebody younger and think that they got it figured out. But there's still a lot of gas in this tank. There's still a lot of juice in it. There's still a lot of passion for it. When I get on the field, I'm a different animal, and it's something I think my players have always enjoyed about me, and something I've always enjoyed about myself being out on the field because I knew I loved it and I knew I was passionate about it. So we'll see what happens, but you know, I'll take this USA baseball thing through the year, and if something does come flying in front of you, great, but I'm not sitting around waiting for it.
Well, speaking of passion, we want to thank you for spending the last couple hours with us, sharing the passion with the Clemson fans out there and joining us here in our studio for the Clemson Insider. And that's going to wrap things up with Hall of Fame Clemson head coach Jack Leggett.
I appreciate the fans and appreciate the people who've always been nice to me, and and supported our program, and it was something that I was extremely passionate about and loved doing every single day, and we had for the last 4 years been wishing that there had been more of it. But at the same time, I want to thank everybody out there who always followed our program and appreciated what we did.
Thank you very much, Coach.